This is the all-new Itel Super 26 Ultra, and it might just be the best smartphone Itel has ever made. For around 235,000 naira or $160, this phone comes with a nearly bezel-less display, a brand new chipset, and some impressive features I honestly wasn't expecting to see. So here's the real question: has Itel finally made the best budget phone money can buy, or is it still behind the competition? Well, let's find out. Let's kick things off with the unboxing experience. What exactly do you get in the box? Upon opening the packaging, you are first greeted with a much smaller box, and inside that you get the SIM ejector tool, a couple of paperwork, a screen cleaning kit because apparently this phone comes with a screen protector. Wow. After all that, you have the smartphone itself, a pretty clunky protective case, a USB Type-C cable, and finally, a fast charging brick. In my opinion, having a case like this in the box is quite pointless because I don't understand how we should actually protect the phone. However, I'm not that upset because I don't even remember the last time Itel provided an additional screen protector. It's one of those things we didn't ask for, but they are giving it to us anyway, and I respect that. But doesn't still end there. For some of you, Itel is also including what they call the DIY display case, and there's something really interesting about it. At first glance, it looks okay, nothing spectacular, but when you do this, just look at that. This case can actually change the array according to any scenario you set up, and even though I don't think I'll ever use it, it doesn't change the fact that it's still pretty impressive. And if you're enjoying this video so far, kindly leave a like and smash that subscribe button for more videos just like this one. Thank you. Next up, the design and build quality. And in this area, I have mixed opinions on whether this is the best design budget phone or not. In terms of design, the Super 26 Ultra isn't exactly a new innovation. It basically still resembles the Itel S25 Ultra, which in turn resembles the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. But they've made enough changes that I don't exactly mind that similarity. One of those changes is that the phone is now curved at the edges, which is way better than the S25 Ultra's boxy edges because that will really hurt your hand. The camera layout has also improved, now positioned more towards to the left instead of the center, and I think that's pretty cool. As for build quality, this is still plastic, and on paper it doesn't look like much has improved. But trust me when I say that this is probably the biggest upgrade you can get on a phone for less than 300,000 naira. First off, it's very slim. It isn't exactly slimmer than the S25 Ultra, but considering we are getting a much larger battery than last year, I don't see why you shouldn't appreciate it. Itel even claims this phone is the strongest you can get at its price, which I suppose is a little jab at Tecno and Infinix. It has drop resistance from 1.5 meters, an IP65 rating that protects it from water splashes and full body immersion, plus a few other durability enhancements. It's really cool to see how much Itel has improved their phones in terms of durability and overall longevity. I'm quite impressed. Now let's talk about the external features. On the top of the phone you get nothing. On the left side you also get nothing. But on the right you find the usual volume rockers and power button, just a regular power button because we are getting an under display fingerprint scanner. It isn't the fastest and the face unlock feature is noticeably quicker, but that doesn't mean it's a bad experience. If you place your finger on the right area, it's pretty reliable around 95% of the time. At the bottom, you are getting the micro SD card slot. Wow, they moved it all the way down here. The USB Type-C port, the microphone, and a single button for iron speaker. Regarding the SIM slot, this phone has no memory expansion, so you only get space for 2 nano SIM cards. There's also a few extras such as NFC, Ultralink free calls, as well as an IR blaster. For audio quality, the speaker is fine, it's DTS tuned, sounds pretty rich, but since it's just one speaker, I don't think it's much better than most of the competition. That brings us to the display, and this is one area where I was genuinely surprised by what Itel just did. For context, last year's S25 Ultra broke a lot of records. It was the first phone Itel ever made to be truly usable outdoors without any issues. It also introduced a 120Hz refresh rate and Gorilla Glass protection. But with this Super 26 Ultra, things are on a whole new level. It's still the same 6.8-inch AMOLED display, but this time the resolution has been upgraded from 1080p to 1.5K or Quad HD. The refresh rate has jumped from 120Hz to 145Hz, and the biggest upgrade, the brightness level, from 1400 nits to an insane 4500 nits. That's bright enough that you shouldn't have any issues using this phone in any lighting condition whatsoever. When consuming content, I don't think most people would notice much difference between this and a $1,000 flagship phone. The colors are rich, accurate and vibrant, and what tops it all off is how slim the bezels are. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Itel Super 26 Ultra's display is genuinely one of the best screens you can get in the world at any price point. It's crazy how far the company has come in just a few years. Okay, fine, they nailed the display, but how good is this phone when it comes to performance? The Itel Super 26 Ultra is powered by the Unisoc T7300, and wait, before you consider leaving this video because of how bad the Unisoc chipset actually are, I think Itel might have just set a new world record for budget performance here. Based on the name, you'd expect the T7300 to be just a little more powerful than the T7250, but it's actually way ahead, like comparing a 1965 Daimler to a Tesla. While the T7250 maxed out around 270,000 points on Antutu, the T7300 is the first entry-level processor I've seen cross 500,000 points. That's over 500,000. And here's the crazy part, the MediaTek Helio G200 only maxed out at around 400,000 points. That means this Unisoc chipset is roughly 20% faster, and it clearly shows this phone is almost buttery smooth. I don't think I've even seen some mid-range phones perform like this. Apps run smoothly, loading times are fast, and everything feels snappy with no lag. When it comes to gaming, just look at how this phone runs Genshin Impact. Even other demanding games barely show any stutter. They say this phone comes with graphite sheets to make more heat outside, as well as a game booster to enhance the gaming experience. And it's insane, 4 or 5 years ago, Itel was known as the laggy phone brand. Now they built the most powerful entry-level phone in the world. Now let's talk about the software. The Super 26 Ultra runs on Itel OS 15.1.2 based on Android 15. Compared to last year, everything is mostly the same but with slightly more advanced AI features, as Itel is emphasizing Itel AI. The app layouts, the amount of bloatware and the impressive customization options are still here. There's the always-on display, which is extremely customizable with all these different lovely aesthetics. We also get a lot of AI features. Solar is like the new Gemini, which you can use to ask a lot of complex questions to answer, note summarizing, and much more. There's also a lot of neat photo editing tools like Magic Eraser, and they work very well. In terms of support, I don't know how long this phone will get updates, but it's maybe 1 or 2 years, and that's about it. Now, onto the battery experience. This is one area where one aspect is a plus and the other is a minus. The phone comes with a massive 6000 mAh battery, which is exciting. The S25 Ultra's 5000 mAh cell already lasted more than enough, and this one should even last longer without any issues. Initially, I thought they gave us this much battery to guarantee even more battery life and be extra generous, but that's not exactly the case. Last year's S25 Ultra came with 18W fast charging, which was okay but still behind, as its rivals Tecno and Infinix offered 33W. I really thought they fixed that this year, they didn't. And the most annoying part is that the competition now has 45W fast charging. It doesn't mean it's bad, it just means that it takes about 2 hours and 30 minutes to get from empty to full, and that's unimpressive compared to the others, which take about an hour or less. Finally, let's talk cameras. The Super 26 Ultra comes with a triple camera setup consisting of a 50MP main sensor, an unspecified macro camera, and an auxiliary lens. I'll be honest, the cameras aren't its strongest points, but they are good. The photos are neat and bright, they are detailed and crisp, and in good lighting, the dynamic range holds up nicely. This phone also has a ton of camera modes, including Super Night mode. And for a budget phone, that night shot is pretty impressive, don't you think? Video recording on the rear goes up to 2K at 30 frames per second, and there's a bit of stabilization. On the front, you also get a 13MP selfie camera which shoots in 2K as well. So back to our initial question, is the Itel Super 26 Ultra finally Itel's way of staying ahead? Or is it still behind Tecno and Infinix? One thing I'll say is that Itel is still Itel, and they still make some decisions that annoy me a lot, like the mediocre charging speed and their stubbornness to stick with Unisoc. But despite that, I still think that this phone has enough features to make it better than the others, the bigger battery, and most importantly, the most powerful processor you can get on a budget phone. Those two things alone make it without a doubt a better option than the competition. So yes, I 100% recommend it, and I personally prefer it over its rivals. But if you want the cheapest, most powerful phone under 150,000 naira, then the Samsung Galaxy A07 will blow you away because it comes with a processor I honestly didn't expect to see. If you want to know everything about it, click the card on the screen right now and I'll tell you all about it.